R1T is part of a new Rivian brand that aims to provide an adventure-oriented utility vehicle with a powerful electric powertrain. The R1T pickup truck is one of two upcoming models to focus on utility and capability while offering wide range on a single charge. Like most electric vehicles, the Rivian R1T 2021 is supported by a skateboard platform where the battery is placed under the passenger compartment to keep the center of gravity low. Ground clearance is excellent at 14.5 inches. The R1T also promises fast acceleration with sprints of up to 60 miles per hour in 3.0 seconds. Prices for the Rivian R1T will start at around $70,000. The Rivian R1T 2021 has 4 electric motors, one mounted on each wheel. 3 batteries will be offered, 105, 135 or 180 kilowatt-hours. Depending on the battery you choose, the R1T can have up to 750 horsepower and 829 pound-feet of torque. Rivian claims that on a single charge, the R1T can cover more than 400 miles if it is equipped with the largest battery. The smaller battery option is expected to get around 230 to 300 miles on a single charge. 2 large displays dominate the dashboard of the Rivian R1T 2021. The 15.3-inch digital gauge cluster replaces the traditional analog gauges while the large 12.3-inch touchscreen handles infotainment, climate control and navigation. The Rivian R1T 2021 has a front trunk of 11.0 cubic feet and a storage tunnel of 12.0 cubic feet between the bunk bed and the passenger compartment. The spare tire well also doubles as luggage on the 7.0 cubic foot bed. If properly equipped, the Rivian R1T 2021 can tow up to 11,000 pounds, while the maximum payload is 1,760 pounds. For added flexibility, the R1T will be available with an accessory rack that mounts over the bed covers, and a tent on the bed. This truck is quite fat at 5,886 pounds. But I was on a week-long off-road trip with 2 spare wheels, tires, a floor jack, a toolbox, some spare parts, 5 liters of water, a MaxTrax recovery board, some bubble ropes and enough camping gear for 2. All told, my Rivian is loaded with extra 600-ish pounds. I've never driven an off-road vehicle with regenerative braking and it's really hard to get used to. My pre-production truck has enough regen programs so I can drive on one pedal most of the time, and over the course of a week, I can count on one hand the number of times I actually dig into the mechanical brakes. Like any other EV with a strong regen, lifting the gas will slow Rivian to a complete stop, and this is very helpful for slowing down quickly when approaching screens or rocks on the trail. My truck has a 135 kWh battery, but the 300-mile range isn't even a question in this desert. First, this truck is not just pre-production, it is very pre-production, and Rivian says the battery doesn't run at its full capacity like in customer vehicles. Also, keep in mind that off-roading is inherently bad for the range. On smooth sidewalks without the extra weight, 300 miles shouldn't be a problem. But under these very specific conditions with the truck unfinished, I averaged about 167 miles per fill. But man, never in my life have I cared so much about conservation. I sacrificed a little on ride quality and comfort for overall reach, keeping the 34-inch Pirelli Scorpion tires at 38 psi to reduce rolling resistance on solid ground, even though the lower pressure would be easier on my spine. I also chose to leave climate control turned off just to keep all available electrons focused to propel me forward. I even put up with this for a few days where the temperature hit 100 degrees Fahrenheit. At the end of the trip, let's just say I'm not the freshest of flowers. Fortunately, there are times when I can use gravity to my advantage. On some descents, I put the truck on neutral and let it slide offshore, honey. Once the truck reaches a higher speed, I can drop it into drive and knock on the brakes to return the regenerative energy to the battery. In one example, I was able to feed 19 miles back to a 135 kilowatt-hours battery. On another assignment, I reclaimed 10 miles. Passing 17 miles of Monitor Pass in the eastern Sierra Nevada mountains costs only 8.6 miles of true range. Sweet. The R1T has 5 different ride heights with a maximum ground clearance of 14.5 inches. That is, it has an approach angle of 34.8 degrees, a departure angle of 29.3 degrees, and a see-through angle of 25.7 degrees. That's better off-road geometry than the Ford F-150 Raptor or even the new Ram 1500 TRX. Heck, the breakover and departure angles are even better than the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Given that, even at level 4 heights, it's rare that I actually hit a rock or break the underbody armor, which, thanks to the flat-pack powertrain, is like the skateboard deck under the truck. This skateboard platform and lack of a traditional powertrain mean Rivian has a ridiculous amount of storage. Sure, the length of the bed is only 4.5 feet, but I have 11.1 cubic feet of space in the front trunk, enough for a sleeping bag, cot, pillow, 3 lengths of Bubba straps, a winter jacket, 2 packs of Muscle Milk and 1 12 Dr. Diet packaged pepper, with space left. The tunnel between the rear seat and the bed can accommodate an additional 11.7 cubic feet of gear. This space is great for the extra MaxTrax and my personal bag. What's even cooler is that once the tunnel doors on both sides are flipped, it serves as a seat or as a ladder to access the bed or roof rack. It's genius, and honestly probably my favorite thing about the R1T.